You know, the reason why I really wanted to do this stream today is because we had some amazing news finally. I mean, it's not like huge news or anything, but we finally got confirmation that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is happening. The remake is happening. Yeah, it is huge news. It is. I mean, we've known for a while that this has been going on. It's not like surprising or anything, but it's nice to finally see that Ubisoft confirming that this is in fact a thing that they're working on, and it is coming sooner than we thought. That's really good news for me. They did a whole brand update thing that was just yesterday, and this is the new head. This guy is the new head of Assassin's Creed franchise. Okay, so he has been appointed the head of content for the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is huge news actually. Because if you remember, we talked about how the Assassin's Creed head that's been there in Ubisoft for like 20 plus years has been fired or kind of let go. And it was a whole thing, and then he did like the Twitter post and he was kind of bitter about it. And we were speculated it might be because of how he kind of dragged this franchise down over the past few years, even though he has worked on legendary, iconic games like Origins and even Assassin's Creed 2. But he kind of lost his mojo lately, right? We didn't know who's going to be heading Assassin's Creed for a while, and we thought because Vantage Studios is the new conjoined studio that Ubisoft has with Tencent, if you remember. And that's been headed by Yves Guillemot's sons. Yves Guillemot being the Ubisoft CEO, his son. And we were like, okay, Assassin's Creed is part of Vantage Studios now. It's gonna be kind of, shit because his CEO's son doing this shit. So I was kind of worried about it for a bit. Now that we got a new new head of content for Assassin's Creed, it's looking good. He's got a little message for us.
My name is Jean Guédon.
Jean Guédon.
I've been working on Assassin's Creed for more than a decade, starting with AC1 up to Origins.
It's because Ubisoft is a French company. Everyone's French.
I've seen this series grow from a bold experiment into something that spans generations of players, immersing them in pivotal moments of history that still resonate today. I know how much this series means to our teams, and how much it...
You didn't know that Ubisoft was French company? Come on. You're the biggest fan of Assassin's Creed. This is basic information.
...means to you. I also know how much scrutiny surrounds it, especially lately. I've recently stepped into a new role, overseeing the Assassin's Creed franchise as head of content.
Fair enough.
That responsibility is making sure we maintain a clear, consistent dialogue about our vision.
Hey, I like that.
One that fully embraces the franchise's roots and DNA, while also pushing toward innovation and exciting new experiences for you to discover.
I would argue that Assassin's Creed Unity is probably the only game Ubisoft has worked so much on compared to every other game in Assassin's Creed franchise. They put in so much detail into Unity. It was kind of ahead of its time when it came out. Yes, it was buggy, didn't perform well, the performance was shit, and it took a while for them to fix that. But the game is so good in terms of like graphical fidelity, and the story is actually pretty good. I love Arno. In terms of graphical fidelity, it's so good. It's ahead of its time, and it still holds up to this day. And they just released a 60 FPS patch for that on Xbox and PS5. It's looking still good, and none of the other AC games have aged as well as Unity. I mean, they're both running the same kind of engine and same kind of mechanics. I think Unity and Syndicate, they sort of like go together. So essentially he's like showing his excitement about the franchise's future. And not only that, he actually gave us some tiny bits of information about what's going to happen with the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is awesome. Yeah, so let's get into that. Before we get into Black Flag stuff, they have confirmed that Hexe is still very much a work in progress. That's still coming. Yeah, it is the Hexe. It is the Witch Trial. Not Witch Trial, the Witch one, yes. They said expect a unique, darker, narrative-driven Assassin's Creed experience set during a pivotal moment in history. Obviously, they're still not giving away much about it, but it's good to see that it is still going on. Not Salem, I think it's like mid-century Europe, where like all the witchcraft stuff were happening. It's interesting. It's going to be pretty dark, and I'm here for it. I wonder if the Templars will be the witch hunters and the assassins are the witches. They really haven't given us much to go with, so don't know what their take is. All we know is that it's going to be very narrative focused, tighter game than what we've come to expect with an Assassin's Creed game. I'm expecting the world to be a lot smaller, but with a lot more shit to do, more tightly packed, more dense, with a focus heavily on the main campaign progression, and also very narrative focus, which means like you have structured missions that you're supposed to follow and do, rather than, you know, like unstructured missions that we've been getting with later games like Shadows and Mirage, where you can complete all the missions in any order. I think they're gonna pull back away from that with Hexe. Anyway, that's all we know. Other piece of news that I was really excited to hear about was the fact that Codename Invictus is still going ahead. If you remember, I talked about Codename Invictus, which is supposed to be their PvP Assassin's Creed experience. We were worried about it because it was supposed to be this PvP multiplayer thing, and even people inside were saying that no one inside likes working on it, and it's this shit PvP, and it's not even like the PvP we used to get from multiplayer Assassin's Creed multiplayer back in the day, like back in the Assassin's Creed 2 days. So I was a little skeptical hearing about that news back about a month ago. But according to new head of content of Assassin's Creed, though, they're saying that apparently it's not quite what the rumors have suggested. They are apparently taking a lot of feedback with this approach and doing this, testing and learning approach with the game. That's what they have said. Yeah, there's a lot to expect with it. So who knows, man? Who knows? This might as well be just, corporate BS that you push out to soothe fans or whatever. Who knows? But the thing is, Invictus is still a work in progress. It might be something different to what we've heard though. So that's the exciting part, I guess. They have also said Assassin's Creed Jade is also work in progress as well. Assassin's Creed Jade is one of the games that's been in development for mobile platform. If you remember this was shown off back in the day, and this was supposed to be exclusively for mobile platforms, and it was set in ancient China, and it was supposed to come out like 2 years ago, and nothing has happened since then. And we've heard rumors about this being delayed internally. Some have said that it's been scrapped away, and then the studio that was working on it actually has been laid off. That happened a couple of months ago, and we talked about this a lot in our previous streams, and we weren't sure where this was going, because now that the studio that was working on it's been laid off and everything, what the hell is happening with Jade? No one, because where they announced a number of cancellations for the upcoming games, Jade wasn't one of them. Jade was still supposed to be in development because they didn't openly cancel it. So we were all like, what the hell is going on? So I guess now we know that it is still very much in development. We're also looking into bringing co-op back to Assassin's Creed, a detail we know didn't go unnoticed. Okay. And while we recently choose to pivot away from an early project, the lessons from that work are already helping shape our approach going forward. Speculation around Assassin's Creed is not new, but it's worth repeating. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Well, except in this case, some whispers have a little more wind in their sails. Keep your spyglass on the horizon. That's all they have said about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynched. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynched. They also posted this image with the name. That is official confirmation that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is happening, because they didn't even confirm the game or the name for the game. This is the first time they have done it. So this is official confirmation. They have said the first reveal of Assassin's Creed Resynced should be expected in around April. So in about a month or so. That's actually good news. I don't know if that means if they are getting ready to drop it pretty soon after April. So, but that's actually good news, right? But this also means they're pivoting away from, my suggested marketing tactic of shadow dropping the damn thing. All right. They were supposed to release it before the end of this financial year for Ubisoft, which ends in. No, hang on. It doesn't fit. It doesn't really fit because it was supposed to be end of March, right? 31st of March is their end of financial year. But they're doing the first reveal for Assassin's Creed Resynched supposedly now in April, which means no, they internally push this to the next financial year. So now you're looking at anytime between April to next year, March. That's the new financial year for them. Yeah, surely they're not shadow dropping it. I thought they would do it, but I don't know. It looks like they're not going to go down that path. They have revealed it now. They've officially revealed it. But the fact that they have said, keep your spyglass on the horizon, that is telling me there's going to be something revealed pretty soon. And if they're doing this correctly, I really want them to like not do like a huge marketing campaign for it that has like a 6-month span like they normally do, and then just fucking drop it. Like they do the reveal and be like, yo, this is available tonight or some shit like that. I really want them to do that because that will make people go absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. And if April might be a really good time to be dropping a game because that's like well before all the massive hits are dropping for the year, and they got quite a bit of time for people to try this game out and actually give time for it. So I don't know. April is a good month to be dropping it. April, May is a little packed. We're just speculating here, but it would be really, really good if they just do a reveal of the game and then just say it's available now. I really hope they still do that. They still can kind of shadow drop it if they want to do this and drive people crazy with it. Like, absolutely. Like, I know I would go absolutely nuts and end up fucking buying it straight away if they do that. But if they drag it out with a really long ass marketing cycle and make us wait for it, I don't know. I feel like people will start picking the game apart and it'll lead to classic Ubisoft tropes, like, people picking on every little thing about it, and the excitement will go away. But we'll see. We'll see. Other than that, they've just said there's going to be Netflix live action stuff happening, which I'm not particularly excited about, People push a shadow. Yeah, they did, rightfully so. The game is gorgeous, but the story itself isn't nothing to write home about. You feel it more once you play Ghost of Yote, which is kind of a similar game, and then you realize how much better that game could have been, and then it really sucks. Anyway, other than that, they just, like I said before, they dropped a free 60 FPS patch. It's already out now, so if you want to play Unity, you can play that in 60 FPS glory on Xbox and PS5 now. AC Black Flag, man. Right now in Assassin's Creed franchise, I think that's the only game that I'm really looking forward to. Even Hexe, that's a while away, right? It's a while away, so we don't know when that's coming. I am excited for Hexe, but more than that, I'm excited for Black Flag Remake. But at least they have made it official. It's coming, and we can just wait for it now and hopefully drop soon. I feel like because they have also said in that blog post, also working on reintroducing PvP elements back into Assassin's Creed. I feel like we're gonna have PvP elements in Assassin's Creed Black Flag as well. I would be surprised if they don't do that because they already done a PvP version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag with Skull and Bones, where it didn't work out as well because it sucked. But at its core, it is an Assassin's Creed, Black Flag naval combat just extracted from the game and just that part, right? If you really play the naval combat part in Assassin's Creed, so in Skull and Bones, that shit was actually fun. What wasn't fun was the whole progression system and lack of story and the lack of freedom to roam around. That was really shit. It's like just the naval warfare part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag as a full game without everything else. So it's like half a game. That's why it tanked, because nobody really liked to not have freedom to roam around, right? If they learned anything from that, they would 100% will be including PvP, naval warfare in Black Flag Resynched. It's like a no-brainer at this point, and if they don't include that, I'll be very surprised, because Ubisoft will try to put in online service games wherever they can. This is the perfect place to put it and make sure that it will actually have some sort of a player base, because it is right at home in Assassin's Creed world, and it's attached to the whole, you know, Black Flag franchise, which is awesome. And then you can utilize that to actually build story, characters, and a really awesome progression system in the online element of it concerning the naval warfare. I think it'll work if they actually do that, but we'll see. Nothing is true, everything is permitted, right? So we'll see.